There's been a lot of debate around the Tax Cuts and Job Act. Some people argue it benefits investors too much. Others argue that it stimulates economic growth and housing production. If multifamily investors didn't have structured tax advantages built into the system, many deals simply would not make financial sense at all. And you know that when deals don't make sense, capital doesn't move. I like politics. If you're like me, let's put that aside. Let's remove every emotion and focus on facts at this point. So, let me simplify what this actually means. And even if the property is increasing in market value, depreciation allows investors to deduct a portion of a building's value every year for tax purposes. If you are taught that depreciation was wow, now see what bonus depreciation does. Bonus depreciation allows these deductions to be accelerated upwards. So, without bonus depreciation, you could have been depreciating your single family home for 27.5 years. How many of you stay in a home for 27.5 years? So if you can answer that, you know that bonus depreciation gives you the ability to gain all the depreciation that you'd have waited for if you were not going to hold on to the house for 27.5 years, assuming that was a single family home. And if it's something like an apartment, like what we do, multifamily or commercial, that is 39 years. Like you all know, one of the things about multifamily apartment is that it is structured in such a way that you must exit. So literally, most people don't hold on to it for 39 years. So imagine you not being able to hold on to that point for 39 years. You'll be losing majority of the benefits from depreciation. That's why bonus depreciation is so important. So now let's talk about the housing reality in the US. We all know that after the 2007 and 2008 financial crisis, the US significantly underbuilt houses for many years, and that brought about a very huge demand in housing. Because of that, demand had continued to grow, but supply did not keep up. Some of you will be wondering, how is that possible? What we are facing actually, why people cannot get their home or buy homes, is not because there's surplus, it's because of affordability. So there's a difference between that. That is called affordability. What we're actually talking about is demand. If houses were very affordable, you actually see that there's a lot of demand for housing compared to what we have as supply. Let me list all the items that investors face today. They face things like rising interest rates, insurance spike, labor costs, construction expenses, taxes, regulatory pressure, tariffs. I can go on, and there will not be any end to this. Multifamily investing is very capital intensive and risk heavy. Imagine you having those kind of property and you have to foreclose because of interest rates. That is where the risk is risk heavy given that scenario. So if the numbers don't work, projects don't move forward. It's that simple. And when investors don't build, capital slows. When capital slows, development slows. When development slows, supply tightens. And that's what exactly we're saying. And when supply tightens, affordability worsens. That's not political, that's economic reality. So the real issue isn't whether investors receive tax incentives. I don't think that should be the conversation, because the real issue is understanding why they exist in the first place. These policies were designed to move capital into housing, because without capital, housing doesn't get built. It's that simple. And when housing supply increases, pressure on affordability decreases. So what we should be looking at is more supply, and that's the mechanism. So understanding how these incentives work is exactly how sophisticated investors approach multifamily, and that's exactly what I teach. So I'll wrap up by saying this. So when you hear people criticize tax incentives for billionaires, for investors and all that, pause for a second and ask a different question. If private capital isn't encouraged to build housing or any form of investment, what would that look like? No one will invest, or they will look for where their money will be highly appreciated. So this is not about politics, like I earlier said. This is how housing economics work. And the understanding is how the system works is exactly what and why I teach multifamily investing. Because once you understand how money circulates in multifamily investment, you will learn to understand why multifamily investors get the kind of incentives that they do. Take advantage of the opportunities, because these opportunities can really be life-changing. I'll see you on my next episode. Bye-bye.